Welcome to the Guardianly podcast. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Lila. At Guardianly, we're on a mission to modernize the phone call experience, to make it safer, smarter, and more productive. A big part of that mission is protecting you from the growing crisis of scam and spam calls that target millions of people every day.
Technology alone isn't enough. Education is just as important. That's why we've created this series, to bring real scam stories to life. Stories that are sometimes shocking, sometimes heartbreaking, but always full of lessons you can use to protect yourself and your loved ones.
Today's story is unlike any we've shared before. It's about an 81-year-old widow from Kirkwood, Missouri, who fell victim to a romance scam. But here's the twist. She didn't just lose money. She was manipulated into becoming a money mule, helping criminals move stolen funds. And eventually, she pled guilty to federal crimes. Her name is Glenda Seim.
So let's walk through what happened. Glenda's story began back in 2014. She met someone online who claimed to be an American citizen working overseas in Nigeria. He told her he was running a business there and that he needed her help with expenses, fees, taxes, penalties, things he said were keeping him stuck abroad.
Like so many romance scam victims, Glenda believed she had found love. She had never met this man in person, never even spoken to him on the phone, only texted. But for her, he was real, and she was convinced he just needed a little help to finally come home.
At first, that help meant sending money directly. Glenda used her Social Security retirement benefits and her pension to wire funds. Then, as reported by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Missouri, the requests escalated.
The scammer had others send her electronics, like cell phones, which he told her to pawn and forward the cash. When that wasn't enough, he persuaded her to open bank accounts, personal and business. Soon, Glenda was depositing counterfeit checks, receiving stolen money transfers, and moving funds she didn't realize came from other fraud victims.
At one point, she even deposited a check for $100,000, drawn from the retirement account of another romance fraud victim. Glenda would keep a small portion, but most of the money was sent right back to her so-called partner.
Over the years, the warnings piled up. Bank employees, wire transfer agencies, even federal agents told her directly, "This is a scam. Ha, you could go to jail." But like many victims caught in the powerful grip of romance fraud, Glenda ignored them. In her own words, from a public service video she later filmed for the FBI, "I didn't listen to anyone else but my love. The love I've never seen nor spoken to."
Between 2014 and 2021, prosecutors say Glenda helped move between $550,000 and $1.5 million through her accounts. And eventually the law caught up. In 2021, she pled guilty to 2 counts of identity theft.
This is where her case takes a tragic turn. She started as a victim, lonely, manipulated, convinced she was helping someone she loved. But in the eyes of the law, she became a criminal. At 81 years old, she faced the possibility of years in prison.
And yet, her story doesn't end there. At sentencing, even the prosecutor, Assistant U.S. Attorney Tracy Berry, acknowledged Glenda's remorse. She had agreed to film that FBI video, fully aware it might expose her to ridicule, just so she could warn others not to make the same mistake. The judge showed mercy, sentencing her to probation instead of prison, and ordering restitution to her victims.
So what exactly is a money mule? It's someone who receives illegally obtained money, often without realizing it, and then moves it on behalf of criminals. Sometimes, people know what they're doing. Other times, like in Glenda's case, they're manipulated into it through lies, romance scams, or fake job offers.
But here's the hard truth. Even if you don't realize it's illegal, you can still be held responsible. Criminals need people in the middle to launder stolen money, and that's why law enforcement is cracking down.
So how do you protect yourself from becoming a money mule?
Number 1, be deeply suspicious if someone you've never met in person asks you to receive or move money on their behalf. That's a classic red flag.
Number 2, if banks, police, or federal agents warn you something is fraudulent, listen. They're not trying to ruin your life. They're trying to save you from making it worse.
Number 3, Never open bank accounts, deposit checks, or forward money for an online partner, employer, or friend. If the money isn't yours, don't touch it.
And finally, remember, real love doesn't come with endless financial requests. If every conversation leads back to money, it's not a romance, it's a scam.
So that's today's story. Glenda Seim's heartbreaking journey from romance scam victim to unwitting money mule. A reminder that scams don't just steal money, they can steal reputations, freedom, and years of peace of mind.
Next time on the Guardianly podcast, we'll explore another real life case. A different scheme, different tactics, but the same lesson. Scammers are out there, and awareness is your best protection.
Thanks for joining us today. If Glenda's story resonated with you, share this episode with someone you care about. The more people we reach, the harder it becomes for scammers to succeed.
Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, Guardianly is here to protect your calls, your connections, and your peace of mind.